Hey guys, this is Jamal Purvis with ScanSource. I am the solutions architect who is over networking and security, and I wanted to take some time to build a series together of some videos that will help you and your partners going forward. This first one is going to be focused on the work at home experience from the networking point of view. So I invited Jason Burgeson on a quick call for us to go over exactly what Aruba has in their lineup that will help us going through this COVID crisis, but also from beyond that. So, without further ado, here's my conversation with Jason, and we look forward to getting some feedback from you at the end of the show. Thank you. Today, I have the pleasure of speaking to Jason Burgeson from Aruba Networks. He is the, oh yeah, absolutely glad to have you here. And we want to take some time to kind of get a little more information from you about a couple of different things. But let's talk about the hot topic right now, and that is working from home. So how does Aruba play in this environment?
Yeah, so we've actually had a product for a very long time that we call a remote access point. And I'm going to throw this up on the screen so you guys can take a look at it. But really what a remote access point is just an access point that you normally would have in an office building mounted on the ceiling, except we take that same concept and we actually allow employees to take that home. And the benefit of that is that with the use of a controller and the ability of connecting the access point at home, it allows employees at home to literally connect to the corporate network as if they were sitting in the office. And the way that's done is we take the access point and we actually utilize zero-touch provisioning, so that way if you have a lot of employees that these access points are going to be shipped to, because you don't really want them going to the office, especially in the time that we're in right now, to pick them up, you can directly ship them to your employees, and once they connect to the internet, they'll actually communicate with a server that we have called Activate. And Activate will actually direct that access point and point it to the corporate infrastructure. And then that access point would become provisioned onto that network, and after it's been provisioned, all of the policy and the network and the configuration is then given to that access point, and then it creates a virtual tunnel over the internet. And that virtual tunnel is completely secure, and it offers a direct connection right to the corporate infrastructure. So that way, when the employee sits down at the desk and they open up their laptop and they connect to the Wi-Fi that access point is delivering in their house, it's like they're connecting to the same wireless access that's in the office space.
Awesome. So in this scenario, let's say if I've got 10 employees and I send out 5 of my employees are remote, and how easy is it for them to set it up on their side?
Yeah, it's extremely easy actually. In fact, it's no different than hooking up any other network device. So most people in the house have a wireless router that they bought at a big box store somewhere. And most of those wireless routers that you buy at those big box stores have additional ports on them, and it would just be a matter of plugging in the remote access point that we make into one of those additional ports to gain network access. And really, that's all that's necessary. Now, you can enable additional configuration if you want the employee to approve the access point via logging in with their Active Directory credentials. You can allow that as well.
Okay.
But from a simple configuration standpoint, all they have to do is plug it in, and then the AP will utilize all of its zero-touch provisioning to get back to the home base or the home network where it needs to go to.
Awesome. So I know some of those APs do have multiple ports on the bottom. Would they also support like a work phone or a mobile or a SIP phone, for instance?
Yeah, great question. So we do have some access points that really are a great fit for remote access point solutions. They are designated as remote access points. And like you said, they have additional ports on the bottom of them. And the benefit of having additional ports is that you can hook additional devices to them and have them directly connect back to the corporate infrastructure as well. And one of those devices that's commonly used is a voice over IP phone. In fact, the APs that we have designated as remote access points, one of their additional ports also provides power over Ethernet to that device. So when you plug in that voice over IP phone, it will power up that device and connect, and then directly connect that phone to the corporate network, just like the phone was sitting on your desk as well. But what I will say is that all of the access points that we produce in the Aruba access point portfolio supports the ability of becoming a remote access point. So even though they're not necessarily designated as a remote access point like the models that we do have, the ones all in the portfolio, every single access point supports them.
What are some of the pitfalls that you see like creating an environment like this or building something like this?
Yeah, great question. So generally in the enterprise, we have the ability of controlling everything in our infrastructure. We control the access points, we control the switches, we control the routers, the servers, and the connection coming into the building. So we know exactly what the speed connecting to the internet is going to be. We might have multiple connections coming in to load balance all of the people that are inside that building to get to the internet. But in a home environment, the corporate infrastructure doesn't have control over someone's network in their house. They don't have control over the internet coming into their house. So one recommendation that I would always make is when we are looking to provide reliable connection to corporate resources or out to the internet, as we take a look at the internet coming into the home. It might be as simple as switching out the cable modem and getting something quicker from your internet service provider, or maybe looking at upgrading your plan to get a better connection into your house. But the more reliable, the quicker the connection is, the better the overall experience will be for your workers when they work at home. In fact, group calling is very common, right? So utilizing Zoom and Skype for Business, it's happening all the time. Skype actually recommends about 8 megabits per second for group video calling. So in order to have a good, reliable experience from a Skype call perspective, you would need about 8 megabits upload and download from your ISP in order to have a good connection. And which is not a whole lot. 8 megabits is pretty common today, but when we think about everybody being in your home, that might be watching Netflix or browsing Facebook and Instagram, they're still using the same internet that you're using to get into that video call. So 8 megabits is not a lot, by itself, but when you start looking at all of the other people in the house that might be consuming internet, it becomes a lot bigger of a chunk of the pie. So having something like 50 or 60 megabits, if it's available in your area, would definitely be better suited for a better experience for working from home.
Absolutely. I kind of ran into that same situation myself. Didn't realize, but I had a bad modem. So I had to go to our local ISP and get a new modem, and it's a lot better, but I do believe I might want to change my plan because I've only got 10 megs up. And not only do I do calls all day, of course, with our partners and you guys as well, but I like to game too. So that can make it a little bit laggy when you're inside of a real
Not while
tough
you're talking to
competition.
us, right? Though you don't game while you're talking to us. So.
Oh, let me put my control.
Pause.
All right. All right. So great. I think that definitely has a lot of information. We've been kind of hitting some key points I know some people have had questions about. And if they haven't had questions about it, they probably may have questions about it too. So I know you guys are putting on webinars. Is that correct still when it comes to this?
Yeah, we actually have several planned, so make sure you check out on your email. And I know ScanSource will also be promoting some webinars as well, specifically around this topic. So if you need some more in-depth information around remote telework solutions that Aruba offers, definitely look at those webinars, attend those webinars. They'll also be recorded so you can access them at a later date. But you can always find more information across all of our solutions at arubanetworks.com. So go to that website and you'll be able to click on one of the options specifically says VPN solutions, and that's going to be covering the remote access points that you heard about today, as well as our software VPN called VIA. And VIA allows you to have the same kind of connection back to the corporate office without utilizing an access point. So you can utilize your phone or your laptop and install the client on there to get the same kind of access directly back to the corporate office.
Now, is that a new platform to you guys, or how long have you had it, VIA?
We've had VIA and the remote APs actually for about 7 years now. So this is a technology that's pretty mature. We've had it for a long time. In fact, VIA supports iOS and Android, and then we also support Mac OS, Windows, and Linux for the PC side. So it's widely used and widely available, and it's the benefit of that is you don't have to worry about buying additional hardware to place in the home, so it can be more cost effective as well.
Okay, so just a software and pretty much, I guess, a license for it. You have to pay a subscription for it?
That's right. So there's a license per user or per connection, and then you would utilize one of our mobility controllers back at the corporate office in order to provide that connection, that link back.
Gotcha. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I know we've got that. I may try that out myself one day. So we'll see how that works.
Needs something. Yeah.
All right. So I think you've hit all of my initial questions right now. Maybe we have a little bit of time we can call back about some more specifics and deep dive into a little bit more when it comes to, maybe going into the VIA platform or maybe do a little setup. I don't know. We'll see how that works. But Jason, I want to thank you for your time this morning, and I hope that you stay safe, and we'll talk soon.
Awesome. Thank you so much. You do the same.
Thanks, Jason. I hope you guys enjoyed that conversation with Jason Burgeson from Aruba, and I hope that we can continue this. So I would like for you guys to give me some more feedback. And, if you get a chance to go on YouTube, like and subscribe it. It always helps. But also, going forward, I want to get some input from you. What do you guys want to learn? What do you guys want to take away and for us to jump out here and do? Myself, Hunter Edmondson, Dustin Gavitt, Scott Watkins, we all want to help out as much as we can. So tell us, what do you want to see in these channels and in these YouTube videos and in the hub content we create? Thank you guys. Be safe. God bless. We'll talk to you later.